Guess who's back?
Dude.
Back.
You're going to get us a copyright strike. I know you've been gone for a while, but you have to be better than this.
Back again.
Roll the damn intro.
Happy Tuesday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from the one, the only Studio K, presented by Circle K. Head to any Circle K Arizona location where you get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents now through September 3rd. I'm Anthony Totri, and I am back with the one, the only blind mouse himself, Erik Ruby.
Not seeing as always, baby.
I know you missed me. We got DJ Kyle behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. We already got JJB in here spawning and talking about ASU hoops. Don't worry, we'll get into it. Maybe. Michael in the chat, Emily, BC, everybody do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and drop a 5-star review wherever you get your lovely podcasts. We're going to have a great day today.
Dude.
It's a great day to have a great day, no?
I'm pumped to have you back, man.
I mean, I'm pumped to be back, dude.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The sun here is much, much hotter than in Iowa.
No.
Yeah.
Did you make it out to Ames?
I was in Ames, yeah.
Did you?
How was
the water? Was the water really good in Ames?
It was pretty clean. It was pretty clean, some fresh air.
I should have asked you to bring some water.
It was
back
good.
For me.
Yeah, they don't let me do that, man.
Yes, dude. Oh, yeah.
Don't
you
do
flew.
me.
Yeah, you flew.
Yeah, I flew.
Yeah, you flew.
Dude,
okay.
Before
All
we
right.
get into ASU
Okay.
football, which we will do, I promise. Quick story. I was, and this is just my own brain not working at the speed as to what it needed to.
Sure.
So we stopped at a gas station, like maybe a half hour before the flight.
Okay.
Right? Stopped at a gas station. As I do, I pick up an energy drink.
No.
Yes. So in my head, I'm like, we still got like a couple hours before we actually fly.
Oh, dude.
Right? So I'm like, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save my energy drink, and then I'll be good. I'm like, I'm not going to open it. So I put it in the little compartment in my backpack and put my stuff through security. Of course, that thing gets flagged. And my dumbass totally forgot you can't bring in liquids.
Yeah.
So they're like, do you want to go back and drink it? I'm like, dude, this thing has 300 milligrams of caffeine. You want me to walk back through security, chug an energy drink?
You totally should.
And then go back through? I'm like, no, I can't do that shit. Like, I'm going to be freaking out on the plane. So just throw it away. But it's okay. Got my coffee this morning, and we're all set. We're all set, Erik.
How could you not remember?
know,
You can't.
I know,
I actually
I know.
did just ask you to bring me back some water from Ames, so
Yeah,
maybe
it doesn't
we're
work.
on the same level.
Does not work that way.
No.
man. Water is probably a more likely thing that I could have brought back.
No,
than-
it's liquids in general.
you could just check it, no?
Yeah, I guess you could check it.
Chad Johnson in the chat. I can't read it because it's not a partner, but yes,
No.
absolutely. So you want to talk ASU football?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So
I'm kidding.
how's
do
life?
it. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
I mean, I guess before we get into practice, I want to know what you saw at Camp T when you went up there, just in terms of obviously the quarterbacks, the defense, and just the overall vibes that you got from Camp T.
Vibes were fantastic. Definitely would encourage everybody to check out yesterday's show. Ran a pre-recorded like 26, 27 minutes with comments from Graham and from Cole. So if you want more into that, I would definitely go check that out as well. Vibes were actually really high. Tons of people there. So many fans. Defense looked really good. 4 takeaways. It's hard to pick a defensive MVP because it really feels like just the names kept rolling in.
Yeah.
I will say a name that has not been talked about a ton just over this past offseason with Zach Swanson since he's transferred over. He almost killed a fan.
Well, that's not good.
In individual drills. No, it's really good because he drove the person in front of him. I'm not sure who it was. I was too distracted by Zach Swanson. But he took somebody and he basically pushed them into the fan and then like held him over, but was strong enough to like not let go and then like pulled him back. It was insane. Kamari Wilson had a great practice. Cole Martin, of course, had a great practice. Iris Fiasea with a pick. Jeff Clark had some really good plays as well. CJ Fight. all around the defense was good, but then of course that in turn goes to the offense as well. Quarterback that looked the sharpest was Trenton Bourget, was getting third string reps, so going up against third string defense, but made some really nice throws. Sims and Leavitt did not have banner days, but we'll have some updates from practice today and some stuff from Kenny on both of those guys, but it was one practice. It was one scrimmage. The defense looked really good, and that plays into how the offense looked. But Jake Smith looked really strong. Xavier Guillory looked really strong. Malquan Stovall did. Didn't get to see Jordan Tyson out there. Didn't get to see Raleek either. But it was an overall fantastic experience and a lot of excitement around this program.
Was that your first time at Campton?
For an ASU practice, yes.
And overall,
you're
going back.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Unless you're at a wedding in Iowa. That's really the only
excuse. That's the only thing that's stopping you. Maybe I'll be going to a wedding in Iowa next year.
You can only hope, right? You can only hope.
I need to go to Ames.
JJ saying resident hoops head here, but Ruby crushed it at Camp T. Nice job, amigo.
Appreciate you, JJ.
Good job,
I hope I satisfied your basketball itch by talking Koa Pete yesterday and just crapping on U of A fans who said there was no chance. So I did that for you, JJ.
There's a bigger chance that Koa goes to ASU than U of A.
Yeah, they don't want to admit that though.
Yeah, they don't want to admit a lot of things. We got Toby Bourget here as well. Emily, guys, again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review. Look, I know we're going to talk about today's practice and some things that came out of that, but something before practice even started, ASU center Leif Fautanu was named to the Rimington Trophy watch list, which is an award handed to the most outstanding center in college football. I think we've done a pretty good job of giving flowers to Leif Fautanu, a kid that is a staple of this ASU offensive line, the quarterback of that Arizona State offensive line, if you will. And look, as we kind of have gone through fall camp, the offensive line hasn't been as big of a question mark as it was last year. And really, all of last year, the offensive line had its hiccups, whether that be because of injury, because of depth, because of size, whatever. This fall camp, knock on wood, everybody has remained pretty healthy, and it's been pretty consistent with the guys that are up there. You still have the continuous and consistent swapping of right guard between Cade Briggs and Sean Na. I'm interested to see if maybe Arizona State just opts to use those guys in rotation to maybe keep one of them healthy. But we'll, of course, see. Again, you've got your Emmett Bowl, you've got Ben Coleman, Leif Fautanu, you've got the right guard competition, and we'll get into some position battles as the show kind of goes on. And then, of course, Mad Max over at right tackle, continuing to hold down the fort there. Still no sign of Jalen Clem.
Yeah.
Not ideal, but if he gets back, when he gets back, whatever, obviously Arizona State would welcome him. But something that I noticed today and then had the chance to catch up with my barber, of course, to Carlos Brooks out there.
Yeah.
The running back room is just, it's so damn interesting because you look at Cam Scattaboo and everybody wants to talk about Scat, and rightfully so, because he is the guy, was the guy last year. He looks as good, maybe even better, right? In fall camp.
He looks a little different in a good way.
Much slimmer.
One of the things that I mentioned was they were doing goal line reps at Camp T, and Cam scored it was like 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And he wasn't touched. And this was a defense that had a really strong day. And it was, again, against the first string. And that defensive line specifically had a really strong day against the offensive line. Yeah. And it was just, it literally looked like they weren't allowed to touch Cam, but they were actively trying to get him.
Yeah.
And that's like that play style for him specifically, it should bear like a good, hello, Saul.
Saul's getting some Circle K snacks because, of course, Circle K. He couldn't have waited till we had Circle K's ad read.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
But anyway, Cam looked really good. Cam looked really slim, but it's slim, but not in a sense of, oh, he's skinny. It's just slimmer than the brick that he was before. Sure. Yeah, sure. If you want to go with that. He still looked just as strong. But like you said, and there was actually a name getting running back carries that I'm not sure you're aware of at Camp T. That is pretty interesting. But Cam looks good, as always. Cam
looks real good. And then getting back to what DeCarlo said is they're making it as hard as humanly possible for Sean Aguano, Marcus Arroyo, and Kenny Dillingham to kind of figure out that running back rotation. And at the start of fall camp, even at the end of spring, I think there was a conversation that we've had on this show and a number of times that the running back 2 spot, whether that be a Raleek, whether that be DeCarlos, Alt McCaskill, I have almost kind of gotten off that train and been more on the I don't care who RB2 is, because I feel like it is going to be a after scat, it's running back by committee.
Yeah.
You're going to see all of these guys. You're going to see Kyson Brown. You are going to see DeCarlos Brooks. You're going to see Raleek Brown. They're going to do everything possible, I think, to really keep these running backs as fresh as possible, because this is going to be a run-first offense.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be running. I wouldn't be shocked if in some games you get up to like 75, 80% of the time they're going to be running the ball. And rightfully so, because Kyson Brown had one of the best plays up at Camp T, one of the most electric runs as well. And you want to know who got some carries?
Who got some carries?
Caleb Black.
They were doing some stuff out there today.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much about it, but they were definitely doing some stuff out there today, which honestly, I love. I love that usage. He is one of the fastest players on this team. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see him out there. I think it was last spring. Last spring, we got Javan Jacobs. Javan Jacobs was an Arizona kid. They were kind of doing some similar stuff with Javan Jacobs. Ultimately didn't play a whole lot last season, opted to transfer. But now you have Caleb Black in that role. Going to be really, really interesting to see. Again, with a guy like Raleek, with that speed, kind of makes sense that you're going to mirror that with a guy like Caleb Black, pulling him maybe a little bit away from the wide receiver room and bring him to the backfield. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But you brought up that Saturday, it was a lot of the defense dominating. Today, it was a lot of the same. And that's really been the theme of fall camp, is that Brian Ward's defense has been smothering from start to finish of just about each and every practice. And it's in all three phases. It's the defensive line, it's the linebackers, and really the DBs. The DBs have really impressed, and that's really a position group that I think we've talked a lot about fall camp, because there are so many new faces. You don't have a Ro Torrance. You don't have Chris Edmonds. You don't have an Ed Woods, right? So there were some questions just how good that secondary would be, whether that be on the perimeter or in the back end. But they've done a really nice job against a group of athletic wide receivers that have so many different characteristics that ASU is going to try to utilize to beat Big 12 teams this season.
Yeah, Kamari had a really strong Camp T. Kamari's been really good. He had the best pick of the day. There was 4 turnovers in general from the defense, and they just made life really, really hard. Cyrus Fiaseu had a pick.
Hey, you got his name right.
I literally always get his name.
No, I know, but there's not a lot of people in this office that do.
Yeah, I mean, but we're just built different over here.
We are.
No, Cyrus was really great as well. That DB room, we were right next to them, shooting some video of our boy Cole when they were doing individual drills, and they all looked really technically sound, along with just strong as hell. And something that Kenny mentioned that they didn't really have last year was the defensive playmakers to, it's a pendulum, right? If your defense is so good, your offense has to be on the field more because you're holding them to 0 points. But if your defense is so bad, your offense has to be on the field more because they're going down, they're scoring. So they have enough to hold off long drives and to make big plays and game-changing plays and even get takeaways for a lot of those, at least back in Camp T. But the thing that I kind of mentioned was, what ASU didn't have last year, and in part due to injuries and part just due to general talent level, was it feels like there's a big time playmaker at basically every single position.
Yeah.
And when you have that, it opens up for the guy next to you. When you have a Cole Martin at your nickel and he is able to be shut down in that sense, it's going to open up life for Xavier Alford.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to open up life for Shamari. It's going to open up life to have Zach Swanson be able to move somebody on the defensive line, to have Cyrus. He was a little bit quicker, a little bit smaller, still really strong, but was still able to kind of make his impact and be a little bit more of a spy out there. And having all these different guys that could play off of each other, and then the depth to go along with it. When you talk position battles, you're rotating guys in and out. It's football. You will see injuries.
Yeah.
Not to the level of last year, but you will see injuries, right? So seeing that and knowing that the next person coming in is going to be able to kind of hold that water a little bit better, that is going to make the defense almost look night and day. And on top of all of that, you got B Ward, D Cord. But Brian Ward is somebody that players absolutely love. Other coaches rave about him. Obviously, Kenny is super high. And part of the reason why, we're talking about some transfers today, part of the reason why a lot of defensive transfers came here, they specifically said it was ASU's defensive scheme, and that is him.
Yeah, one of those transfers being former Washington State cornerback Javan Robinson. Javan has some experience in this system because Brian Ward, A.J. Cooper, the Arizona State defensive coordinator, and then A.J. Cooper being the linebackers coach, they were together at Washington State right when Javan Robinson was there as a true freshman, so a little bit more familiar with the system than some of the incoming transfers. But we had the chance to catch up with Javan today, just a little bit about how fall camp has gone, how the team is looking 16 days until they actually play a game. And what I really wanted to know was being a part of this cornerback room. Javan Robinson is going to start on this Arizona State defense. He's looked probably like the best corner all offseason outside of Keith Abney. So my question, of course, to Javan was, what do you think of Keith Abney? And this was his answer.
He's a great player. He's very instinctive and he's very smart. Like, he's super smart, 4.0. Like, he's super smart. So little stuff that an offense will do, he'll like know beforehand, you know, like he'll be 10 steps ahead of the offense. So Keith is super smart.
I think that is, and I think in a nutshell, I understand why people would see that clip and there's like, oh, there's not a lot there. But that is probably the first time that I have asked a player about a teammate and the immediate response goes to the head, right?
Yeah,
immediately it's not necessarily what this guy brings on the field from a physicality perspective, right? He's not a 6'3" corner like Ro Torrance used to be. He may not pack a punch the way Miles Rouser does on the back end, but he is so damn smart that he knows where he needs to be every single play. And that's so damn valuable, especially at a position on the perimeter.
And especially for somebody who, you know, there's a lot of new players around here. And this is a defense and this is a team built on so many transfers. Yeah. And having people like Keith Abney, who is smart on and off the field, helps kind of bring everybody together. And funny enough, one of the things that Kenny talked about over the weekend was Keyshawn Elliott, and obviously about the physical aspects and how hard of a worker he is, but was also like, he is one of, if not the smartest in the room. Yeah. And so it's like, it goes to show not only the type of players, but the type of people that this staff goes after. And part of the reason why you can sense this feeling of confidence from these coaches, from a team that, like, quite frankly, if you look on paper, should not be confident, right? If you're looking from an ignorant national perspective, like everybody who's putting them 16th in the Big 12, right? You go, oh, well, they're built out of transfers and they sucked last year. You know, not looking at the nuance and why last year was so hard on everybody on that team. It had nothing to do with the coaches being bad. I know the offense, you know, you had to switch to Kenny being a play caller halfway through. That's tough. But it had everything to do with literally just wear and tear and outside factors coming in and a bull band getting pulled right in front of you, right in front of the season. There was so much just going against ASU to the point where, like, me and fellow media members were talking about that. At Camp T, we're just like, man, this team is so much better set for success this year than last year. And the only way that it works to have all these different pieces and to, quite frankly, not have continuity in a unit that should be built around continuity in your defense is the fact that they're all smart. I mean, Cole Martin, Headspace, is going to be coming out later this week. You know, he's calling it Headspace because he wants to get inside athlete's head and because he's really smart. Yeah. Like, just genuinely, I don't think you can look at a single player on this defense and be like, it's just brute force. Yeah. Right? Like, some of them have brute force, but there's nobody on this team that Kenny and the staff has gone after that it's just like, we just like you for your talent. We just like you because you're strong or you're big or you're fast. It's like, you have to be those things and you have to be a good person. You have to be a strong and a smart person.
The only thing better than a talented football player is a smart, talented football player. That's the only thing.
That's a great way to put it. And, you know, you can tell by the way that they all still get along with each other. They play like they have that continuity. Yeah. The loudest pops from any group of players, and part was because of how well they played over the weekend, was whenever the defense got a stop or made a big play, you would think these guys have known each other since they were in kindergarten. Yeah. They were just going crazy, celebrating, lifting each other up. Like, they just won the Super Bowl and they made a stop at the Camp T scrimmage, right? Like, but because they fire each other up and because they play for each other, they see their guy go out there and make a big play. They're like, oh my gosh, like, this is the best thing that's ever happened.
And that's not just huge for the guys coming back like a Keith Abney and Xavier Alford, but that is massive for the young bucks, right? The Rodney Bimmages, the Chris Johnsons. You look kind of all around, right? Kavion Thunderbird at the linebacker position. I know he was a freshman last year, but him still being a young player.
Best name on the roster.
Montana Warren.
Two best names on the roster.
Montana Warren is the best name on the roster.
Kavion Thunderbird and Montana Warren.
Blazin' Lono Wong.
Oh, I mean, that's like a wrestling group.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just the three of them?
The three of them? I would not want to wrestle against them.
No, man. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But those young guys, right, you bring up the camaraderie. of Camp T, the brotherhood, that aspect of it. But it also allows those young guys to pick the brains of a Javan Robinson, of a Keith Abney, and not just in the secondary, really at all phases, offensively, defensively. So again, talking to Javan Robinson today, I was curious if there was any one corner or defensive back that stood out most to him with just 16 days left till Arizona State takes on Wyoming. And he had a name.
All of them have stood out. All of them are pretty good young players. They all, have the size, the height, the length. They all fast. They're all physical. But in my opinion, Rodney's similar to me. He's kind of quick, twitchy, get out his breaks pretty fast. But all those guys have great things that they bring to the scene.
What's great is that whenever we've asked a player who stood out, they're like,
everybody,
literally everybody.
I love them all.
But it's not like, oh yeah, all the guys were great out there today. Like, they have reasons. Like, I asked Cole who stood out, offense or defense, and he named the entire damn defense. But also you talk about somebody like Rodney as well. And I think what's really cool is you could just keep going through names, right? Rodney wasn't somebody that Cole mentioned, even though he mentioned a bunch of other people on defense. When I try to mention who made an impact on defense from Camp T, there are so many names, and you can keep going. I didn't even mention Javan over the weekend, and that's no disrespect to him.
Shame on you.
Okay. A little too rude, okay? My feelings. No, and it's not because he didn't have a good practice, but there are so many different people who you can see coming in and being a playmaker on Saturday. Yeah. And obviously it doesn't always shake out that way. It's camp. It's optimism season, as some people like to deem it. And not everybody's going to be playing to their max level that you can assume, but there are so many different options for players who can step up and that can actually go in and change the momentum of a football game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you look at the entire defensive line, you look at the entire secondary, at each position group, there's like 3 or 4 guys that you're like, man, they just have something about them that they can come in and really do something.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's going to be a lot of fun, and our conversation about Arizona State football isn't stopping here. You know what else is on the menu?
I do, but I want you to say it anyway.
We're going to hear from Kenny Dillingham about the quarterback competition.
Ooh,
how did Sam and Jeff look today? How does Kenny feel about the transfers that they got? He used a very specific word to describe them. We're going to give some of our favorite transfers, some guys that can maybe shock heading into the Big 12, and who's going to be out there the most. But before we get into all of that, I want to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Circle K. You know it's damn good because we're in the middle of a show, and our GM Saul just walks through, just beelines it straight for the Circle K snacks.
I am a little hungry.
I mean, get yourself a snack, man. Get yourself a snack.
ASMR.
Look, they have it all over at Circle K, whether that be sweet, salty, savory, spicy. They have it all over at Circle K. Not just great snacks, but great deals on gas as well. All you got to do is sign up for their new free membership program, Inner Circle. It's going to help you save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. And then every day after that, you guys are going to be able to save 3 cents per gallon as well. Enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle is going to help you get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents now through September 3rd at any Arizona location. Super easy to find. Just find it in the app under Inner Circle and offers. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
All right, wait.
Here we go.
I'm going to go viral on TikTok for this, okay?
Really?
I will wait to eat until we're playing a clip. Anyway,
there you go.
Circle K is fantastic. A staple here in the Valley. Another staple is Desert Financial Credit Union. Arizona's #1 credit union named by Forbes. Been in my family for literal generations. I am absolutely not joking when I say they have been in my family for generations. I'm not just reading.
You're not doing the Borat thing there?
No. It's real. It's real. Listen, Desert Financial Credit Union, they've got everything from checking, savings accounts, mortgages, loans, credit card, investment options, and more. Plus, they want to give you $200 and they want you to spend it by showing your team spirit. They have exclusive debit cards branded with your favorite teams, including, of course, Arizona State University. Now's the time to show your ASU team spirit. Open up a free checking account online and get $200 plus your choice of 3 Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started and get some free money.
I love free money.
I really want to eat these chips right now.
Well, you're going to have to wait, okay? You're going to have to wait.
Actually, I think
just
I'm just going to go
man.
over here. You
wait.
talk first.
No. Now we got to do the... No, put it in the mic, damn it. Give the people the crunch.
Okay, I feel so dirty.
I feel so bad for Kyle back there, who's got to listen to that.
I feel bad for everybody listening right now.
No, well, Kyle is also listening right now.
We want to hear the crunch.
Yeah.
You want to hear the
He
crunch?
wants to hear.
Yeah,
I need.
let's hear
I
the
need like
crunch.
a.
through?
I need a.
Did it not come through?
Maybe two at once.
Let's do
Two
it
at
again.
once.
2 at once?
2 at once. Yeah.
I feel like I'm like being genuinely serious. Like I feel like dirty doing this.
I mean, you did this. You signed up for this. What'd you do at work today, dear? Ate Circle K chips into the microphone. That's what I did. There you go. There you
Beautiful.
go. Look, I was out of practice this morning, and Kyle came with me today.
He's
right?
the GOAT. Isn't
He
he
is
the
the GOAT.
best?
He is. I mean, he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. We were out there, and I remember turning and just being like, there are so many transfers out here in the two deep. Not just guys that are out and transferred to Arizona State and are going to ride the bench. Like, you seriously look to the Arizona State. Let's just start with the wide receiver room.
Sure.
Right? Troy O'Meara,
Yep.
transfer.
Mhm.
Jake Smith, transfer.
Yep.
Melquan Stovall, transfer. Xavier Guillory, transfer.
Transfer.
Malik McLean,
Transfer.
transfer. Quarterbacks,
Wait, you forgot one. Jordan Tyson.
transfer. Jeff Sims,
Transfer.
Sam Leavitt,
Transfer.
Trent Bourget,
Not a transfer. Sun Devil for life.
There you go. There you go. Christian Hunt from Arkansas State, who's so damn tall. He's like 6'5", dude.
That's pretty tall.
Transfer.
Yeah.
You look
He's
at
tall
Xavier,
and a transfer.
Xavier Alford, transfer. Shamari, transfer.
Transfer.
Kamari,
Transfer.
there's transfers everywhere.
Cole Martin.
Transfer.
Zach Swanson.
Transfer.
Cyrus Fiaseyu.
Transfer. Keyshawn Elliott.
Transfer.
Jamon Tapp.
Transfer.
Clayton Smith.
Transfer.
Prince Dorba.
Transfer.
Prince Dorba is a transfer too.
Kamari Wilson.
Transfer. There's so many transfers. Literally, you go out there and it is some of the craziest things that I have ever seen because there are so many guys that are going to be starting out there and guys that they were able to get in the spring portal after the spring portal closed, right? The tight end, Shaman, who is just massive. I turned to Kyle. I'm like, this guy should be playing defensive end because he is that big. Jamon Tapp. You mentioned Zach Swanson. Like, there are Alton McCaskill.
Yeah.
So many transfers that are going to play this season. So what does Kenny Dillingham think of those spring portal guys? Well, here you go.
Yeah, we got lucky. I mean, to be honest, we got lucky. There were guys that a lot of people weren't highly sought after. That, you know, they may have had 2 schools they've been through, or there may have been some troubles in their past. We got to dig into their past and really learn about them. And they're on our football team now, and they're really good people. I mean, everything that was said about them was not accurate. And it's just funny that you're a product of the people you're around. And I think, you know, there's a few guys out there that are just happy to be here, happy to be given another chance at this level. And I think you can see their work ethic probably changed. They probably were that person that we were described, and they've probably made that change in their life given this next chance. So we got lucky.
Lucky. And seriously, the amount of guys that are going to make an impact for Arizona State, we'll get into our top transfers here in just a little bit, but you do have to think that this is a lucky group because of the transfers that Arizona State lost in the spring portal.
Yeah.
You lose a Jaden Rashada, you're able to add another quarterback, right? You didn't lose anybody in the running back room, but you added maybe one of the most fun potential littered players in Alton McCaskill in that running back room. Malik McLean has looked damn good since he's been back.
Yeah.
Right? Jamon Tapp is going to play a big role off the edge. You mentioned Zach Swanson. Like, Arizona State really did get lucky at a number of positions because there was a need for D-line depth. They filled it. There was a need at tight end when they lost Bryce Pierre to UCLA. They filled it, right? Like, they couldn't have gotten better transfers, and it's because these guys want to be here.
Yeah.
And you brought up the fact, or Kenny brought up the fact that, you know, you heard a lot about these guys from the other schools that they were coming from maybe the fan bases, whatever. You're a product of who you're around, right? And the culture that's being built at Arizona State. I know people are sick of it. You hear it at nausea at this point, but it's real. And that's
I'm not
how you
sick of it.
That's how you get types of players that had bad experiences, that were lied to at previous programs, to come in and turn it around in a year, to turn it around in 6 months and add to the program, to build a program. And you're not just getting transfers that are one and dones. You're getting transfers that have eligibility for years on end, that if they enjoy their experience at Arizona State, which a number of the transfers last year did, again, a Prince Dorba, a Clayton Smith, a Jake Smith, an Xavier Alford, an Xavier Guillory, Jordan Tyson enjoyed it enough to stay for another year despite going 3-9 last year. Imagine what it looks like if you go bowling. Imagine what it looks like if you're 6-6. Imagine what it looks like if you surprise everybody and go 7-5.
Imagine what it looks like if you get more funding. If you like, it's not all about money, and I think it's very clear that ASU and what they've been selling is not as much about the money as much as it is about the experience and the people, and like you've mentioned, like who you're going to surround yourself with, and that shows with the type of transfers they've gotten. A lot of guys who were 4 stars in high school coming out, going to a big school.
Some former 5 stars.
Yeah, coming out, going to a big school, and it's just not really working out for them. And then they come here, and it's like, this is home. This is where you're going to get the most out of you. But like you said, if it turns into success, and Graham Rossini leading the charge of the way with the ASU athletic department, and of course the Sun Angel Collective and everything like that, you know, they're already on track to be earning more money so that they can keep these players, A, properly compensated for the value that they're bringing, but B, also having an enticing amount of money to at least get certain guys to look your way. And I know it's hard because you don't want to say it just comes down to money, and it doesn't. But when you have money and then you also have the culture and you have the coach that doesn't lie to you and you have the staff that actually looks out for your best interest and you have a fantastic city that you live in so close to so many other things, and then you add a winning football team and then you add the money on top of it, it's a true recipe for success. And it's not like a far-fetched reality. This team will be better this year than they were last year, and they will be better 2 years from now than they were this year.
Exactly.
That's how this is going to go. That bamboo is going to grow. Bars. So when you see all of that, and then you add money in there as well. Put that shit on a track. Thank you. And then you add money in there as well. You see this path to look at what they've done now. And we mentioned this whenever they got some of these big name transfers is, wow, they're doing this after last season. Wow, they're doing this with the current NIL pot they have to play in currently, right? Add those things and take away the bad parts.
Boom.
It's
dynamite.
It's not far-fetched. It's really not far-fetched.
I'm here with you, man.
You're going to see not every single player that transfers, because that's asking a lot, but you're going to see so many success stories when it comes to transfers that also is going to play into it.
Make a movie.
The same way, if we're going to do cross-sports comparisons, if ASU basketball gets the most out of Jaden Quaintance and Josan Sandin, and Quaintance stays a year and loves it, and Sandin goes on and is a lottery pick, other 5 stars are going to see that, and they're going to want to come here. Somebody like Cole Martin transfers from an Oregon to ASU and has a fantastic season and gets put on a different pedestal than he was before. Other players of Cole Martin's caliber are going to want to come here.
You say this guy's juiced today. Was he juiced like this all last week?
I'm always juiced. Are you kidding me?
Man.
Always.
No,
I mean, those Circle K chips, really.
I will say. I think I get the most juiced when I'm with you. I do. Let's put her there. You juice me up, brother. Juice me up, brother. I don't know. Look, that's gonna get taken out of context.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna eat another Circle K.
Put that on a track. Look, we have talked obviously a lot about the transfers. Give me your favorite one on offense and defense, and I'll critique that question. Not so much your favorite. The transfer on offense and defense that you think is going to have the biggest immediate impact for Arizona State.
Transfer from this season?
This season.
Okay, so I'm going to say Cam Scatterby
Offense and defense. Offense and defense.
Okay.
Who's the Big 12 going to need to know about?
Offense, I'm torn in a couple different directions. I'm going to go with Jake Smith.
Ooh, okay. That's a transfer from last season, but sure.
Oh, well, but he didn't play. You know?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Is that okay?
I mean, I hear you.
Okay, you want me to do something different?
No, if you want to
do
sell
something
it to me. Sell it to me, damn it. Come on, Juice Man.
I don't need to sell you Jake Smith. Jake Smith sells himself.
Okay.
So you need to understand that before we go any further.
Okay.
I'm getting a little too
juiced.
I think I just kind of fell in love with Jake Smith watching him at Camp T. It was tough. There were a couple overthrows, and they would have been wide open touchdowns put on the burner. He looked just so fast, like a level of fast. You're like, oh shit, I knew you were fast, but
this fast.
You're that fast. And since he didn't play last year, I consider him like a new transfer.
Okay, I'll give you that.
know, so I'm gonna go there. I think Cole's always in contention when it comes to defense. I think he should be in every single conversation for best player on this team, let alone best transfer.
Okay.
Him, and I'm really big on Cyrus.
Okay.
Like really,
Welcome
really
to the
high.
fucking party, dude.
I've been here, bro. I started this fucking party.
You did not.
I brought the keg.
Blasphemy. I will not let you sit here and say that you were on this train because I sat by my lonesome in the linebackers are going to be better than people think train when Keyshawn Elliott and Cyrus Fiaseu got here.
Bro.
And Jordan Crook.
Yeah, Jordan Crook. Yeah. It's separate conversation. I'm so high on Keyshawn Elliott. It's insane.
I thought you were just going to stop with I'm so high.
I'm so high. That's why the sunglasses on. No, they're actually not. Okay. The only thing that I'm under the influence of are these
There we go.
salt
Turned
and
it into an
vinegar
ad. There you
Circle
go.
K chips, baby. And let me tell you, I want to stop talking and eat this entire bag, but I'm not going to because I love you guys.
Cyrus
Not you.
Fiaseu. Wow, he doesn't love me.
I'm just kidding.
Cyrus Fiaseu, Jake Smith are your answers. Big 12 needs to know about those two guys.
I think they will know.
Okay.
I think they will know.
I like it.
What about you? What about you, smart guy?
Wow.
Who's not going to pick a transfer from last year?
I mean, I could. What do you want from me, dude?
I'm just messing with you, man.
Malik McClain.
Yeah.
Offensively.
Yeah.
Didn't know what Arizona State was going to get out of him. Then NCAA dropped.
Yeah.
And they made him the highest rated receiver at Arizona State. And I was like, this kid didn't really play at Penn State. And yes, he's big, he's lengthy, he's athletic, he's quick, but like, how good is he going to be? Suits up at Arizona State through the first few fall camp practices, looks like one of the best wide receivers out there. I've told a number of media members out there, he's built like Troy O'Meary, but he's faster.
Yeah.
Right? He's got really good hands. If he can put it all together, again, camp and practice is so much
big
different
ifs.
than when you're under the lights and you got to build some chemistry with these quarterbacks, whoever is going to be starting, and you got to do it in high pressure situations. Can he do it? That's the question. If he does, he's got everything to be a really, really good wide receiver at Arizona State. And I think, again, being opposite Jordan Tyson is going to only benefit a guy like Malik McClain, who, again, whether he played or not at Penn State's a good football program. You're going up every single day against those guys in practice. I think him is probably the easy answer for me at wide receiver. And I'm going to take it a different route on defense.
You're just so unique.
Roman Petrie.
Okay.
Off the edge, Purdue transfer. Over the last, I would say, 3 practices, saw a number of people talking about how impressive he was at Camp T. Looked pretty impressive from what I was told on Monday. And then again today, had 1 sack at the least that I saw. He's had a number of passes that he's bat down at practice. I think there was a pass last week at the start where he batted it in the air, caught it, and returned it for a touchdown. I know a lot of people want to talk about Clayton Smith, Prince Dorba, Jamon Tapp, right? And rightfully so. Those are going to be some really, really good edge rushers for Arizona State throughout the season. But Roman Petrie is a guy that I think can certainly be in that mix for a player that could potentially be the best defensive transfer at Arizona State, which is huge considering we talked earlier about Javan Robinson, Cole Martin in the secondary.
Right.
You talk about a Kamari Wilson, a Miles Rouser. You look to the second level. You've got guys like a Cyrus Fiaseu and a Keyshawn Elliott and a Jordan Crook. But not a lot of people talk about the defensive line and specifically the edge as a group that has guys that are deep enough, I guess, to really go out there and make an immediate impact. Petrie is the guy that I think can do that. Again, 6'4", 255. He's an absolute unit.
He's up there for the name competition as well.
Roman Petrie?
Yeah, went to a fake high school, though.
What was the high school?
University Laboratory.
No.
Yeah.
That's just what he called his dorm room.
I'm sorry. I have to.
What's their mascot? There's no way
The banner? Wait.
Did you type in high school after that?
Yeah, I think I need to.
All these medical labs are popping up. Is Roman a doctor?
Is Roman a doctor?
Dr. Roman Petrie?
Okay, the first thing that comes up is the University of Illinois. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be putting his business out there.
Well, you are. You're doing
But he's from
exactly
Baton Rouge. Hold up.
There you go. He's doing exactly that. Look, so
This is the type of investigative journalism you get on the PHNX Sun Devils.
That's what you thought? That's what you thought you'd be doing? The investigative
It's
journalism?
an affiliate of LSU?
It's a charter school.
He found it. DJ Kyle found it.
I'll tell you that I've not been good on the good old searching machines lately.
The searching machines?
Yeah.
What are you,
no
from the
free ads.
1970s?
No free ads. No.
An ad for a search machine?
Okay.
Just because
Do you remember our conversation about Gonzaga ASU? And I just completely just spread misinformation. It's because I looked it up and I was given the AI summary and I never trust those. We were live on a show, so I was like, how
Oh, wait,
bad
so
could it
you
be?
were wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong.
I didn't know
you know
that.
what they gave me? You know what they gave me? I went back and I looked at it. They gave me Utah State's record.
Yeah, I knew I was right. I was right.
I literally, you were gone the next day, but I issued an apology.
Will in the chat, Petri Dish went to a lab school?
That is a great joke.
Yeah.
That is a great joke.
Will in the chat, LaTerrence Welch should be named as well. Yeah, LaTerrence Welch is going to be interesting.
So many.
There's so many transfers. There's a lot of transfers. Can I just mention
another one?
You can, yeah.
Marcuston Douglas.
Yeah. No, he's a big transfer.
Rhino.
Yeah. Baby Rhino is definitely his nickname throughout the season. But, again, we've mentioned a lot of transfers. Let's get back to the quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody wants to talk about.
When you say who's the Big 12 going to know, if it's which transfer is going to be the most important, Sam Leavitt is the number one on the list.
Sam Leavitt or
Jeff Sims,
if he ends up starting.
So
right?
Most likely Sam Leavitt.
And look, I want to go out there and say, I know Jeff Sims didn't have a great practice on Saturday, right? But there was a very specific moment today. Kyle was there right next to me where he threaded the needle for a touchdown in between 3 defenders to a walk-on wide receiver. Threaded the needle for like a 15-yard touchdown. Phenomenal throw. And I turned to Kyle and I'm like, this motherfucker made me look so bad because I've been defending him for 2 weeks. And then he goes out on Saturday, doesn't have the greatest practice. And then today we get back in the bubble and he's throwing darts. Is that truthful, Kyle? That was a great pass.
Just loves the bubble, I guess.
We need to play all the games.
Do you think
I
made him nervous?
Yeah, you made
I
him
was
nervous.
standing like right next to him.
You made him real nervous.
Yeah, I think he saw another physical specimen out there and was just like,
he's like,
this guy. He's like, whoever this guy is might take my job.
Yeah.
I know that he's wearing quarter zip and it's 90 degrees outside. So
yeah, what the fuck was that about, man?
It's the only like non like graphic T-shirt PHNX thing that I own.
You just hate repping the comp or what?
What do you mean? I literally was repping the company.
But you could do it with one of these sick graphic tees that we have at the PHNX locker.
I take myself seriously. But, you know, it is what it is. Listen, Short Bus says, I got all doom and gloom on Discord. I said this in the video from yesterday. In the video from yesterday. I don't know if you're telling him to cook my ass or me to cook his ass. I don't know which.
No, I'm telling Short Bus to cook your ass.
Oh, okay. That's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure. I was. And because I was reporting what happened in that practice. And if you just look at that practice specifically, it was not great.
It was doom and gloom.
But I mentioned in the video, it's one practice. Sims has had a really, really good and even surprising to a lot of people's fall camp. It is literally one day. I said I wasn't there for the other days at Camp T. I've heard really great things out of him and even Leavitt as well. As far as camp goes, I was just reporting what I saw. And if you could only base your judgments on these guys off of Camp T, you would be very low. However,
you would be
luckily,
very low.
There's context and there's more to everything.
And there's more than one practice. So how'd they look today? Well,
tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. Kenny's going to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here you go.
You know, I was pissed at Sam because, Sam's smart, so sometimes he tries to play practice. And I'm a big believer that you practice like a game at quarterback, that you don't force things that you want to try, right? You can do that when you're a 3-year, 2-year, or a year veteran, but you have to build perfect habits right now. But what I loved is I got on Sam today. I mean, I kicked his ass butt off the field, right? I got on him, and then he comes back to me. He says, "Let's go." Not even phased. Just let's go. And then Jeff hopped in. Jeff had a good day today. It was definitely a better response today from the quarterbacks after a poor start.
Yeah, I mean, they responded well. And Short Bus said, you were straight sky is falling. I was straight saying what was happening.
New nickname just dropped. Chicken Little's here, guys. Don't worry. That's tough. I know. It's rough. It really is. It's okay, though. But yeah, Sam Leavitt, today there were moments where it wasn't maybe his best practice out there, right?
Yeah.
But there are moments throughout practice where each and every one of these quarterbacks, not just the two that are being named a lot in this quarterback competition, but Trenton Bourguet as well. He has his moments out there. And I was talking with a media member out there today, and it's almost tough because the coaching staff is only really mentioning Jeff Sims and Sam Leavitt in this quarterback competition. So we can't really bring up Trenton Bourguet if the coaches aren't doing it. Mm-hmm. But I turned to this media member and I said, you know what, regardless of who ends up being the starting quarterback, and I've said this a number of times, Trenton Bourguet will be ready, right? If his number is called, which here we go, it's been called the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He will be ready to be out there.
The thing that I have been saying kind of on repeat is one way or another, the ball will find Trenton Bourguet. It always has. And it will.
Yeah.
It will this season. And Short Buzz also says Sam going to be fine. Would rather a QB overthrow than underthrow. Also agree with that.
It depends. Is there a safety over the top?
Well, yeah. It needs to. You would rather have somebody who technically has the ability to throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
Right. You would rather have that. So there are positive things to take away, and I even said for both of them, Sam had really good plays running out of the pocket and throwing across his body on Saturday as well. And with Sims, when you saw things going right, and I think one thing that I picked up is that with Sims, when everything is going right, when everything is going good, and he's feeling himself and he's feeling confident, he looks really good.
He does. He needs to get, when he's in a rhythm, he looks really, really good.
The problem is, as soon as that rhythm is taken away, it's hard for him to get back into it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened at Camp T. He didn't have a great start. It was his first or second possession. He was made uncomfortable and he threw an interception. And after that, you just didn't feel like he was comfortable. Again, one practice for a guy that is in a completely new system, completely new team, and transferred later than Sam Leavitt did. Like, he's the newest quarterback to the room.
You're talking about Jeff Sims?
Jeff Sims.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And that's, again, where this quarterback competition is at with just 16 days left till Arizona State kicks off against Wyoming. You're going to need to name a starting quarterback here pretty soon. I don't anticipate Kenny waiting too crazy long for anything other than a competitive advantage. But I'm going to be honest. I think Sam Leavitt is going to be the guy.
Well, I think the team will know well before we do.
And I think the team knows we know.
If Sam Leavitt is getting all of the first string reps.
And that's been pretty
All of
consistent
them.
except through one practice.
Like, not...
95% of first team reps throughout spring or throughout fall have gone to Sam Leavitt.
This is not disrespectful to Jeff Sims or saying that it couldn't happen or that he
It would be very surprising.
If he were to start week 1, I would be shocked. If he were to start a game this season, I would not be shocked. That's kind of where I
mean, in a perfect world, you got one quarterback and he's starting the whole season. In a perfect world. But we don't live in a perfect world, right? We live in a world where, I don't know. I was going to take that a bunch of different directions, but I opted to just stop.
You can finish the sentence.
Just stop, okay? I opted to just stop. So
we live in a world where you cannot bring your recently purchased energy drink onto a plane.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Okay. We live in a world where you can't have liquids in the air.
Short Bus in the chat, it was Sam's job when Rashada was here. He's not totally wrong. Not totally wrong, but expect this quarterback competition to be over sooner rather than later, especially as practices start to ramp up. And especially as the team starts to prepare for Wyoming. I'm going to be honest. I'll set a timetable for it, even though the coaches haven't. I give it 7 days.
Put your foot down.
7 days.
Put your foot down.
You have a quarterback in 7 days.
In 7 days?
7 days, you have a starting quarterback named.
Give me the...
That puts us 9 days out.
Give me the over.
You're giving the over?
Yeah.
What do you think, Kyle? We taking the over? Or we taking the under on the 7 days?
Over.
Taking the over?
Yeah.
You can't... Me and Kyle, you see, we have this thing, right? We're just connected.
Yeah.
Right? Our brains, they work exactly the same.
On the same wavelength.
Yeah. And do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay.
Finish my sentence.
Okay.
Kyle, what am I thinking about right now?
Those chips.
That's right. See, he knows what
But
I'm talking
I also
about.
was thinking that.
Nah, get out of here.
But I'm just
Stop
saying.
trying to step on our thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Me and Max have a thing. It's called where I say things and Max is like, hey, that's not a partner. You shouldn't say that. That's our thing. Isn't that
He
right,
did
Max?
stop himself earlier in the show, Max.
I did. And technically, I was going to say something earlier, but I stopped myself.
You know, we've had quite the audience today. We've had a lot of people come in here. I think that the Totri Ruby Cooper show is just, it's electric.
The Totri Cooper Ruby show?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
What do you want me to say?
The Rot show.
The what?
Rot.
The Rot?
Yeah. No, we lost Max. Max is gone.
Where does the Rot? Am I dumb?
Coop. So you got the O's in there.
Okay.
You're the R on the T. He's the glue that keeps it all together.
Maybe the Root show?
Because
Rot
that's probably better, huh?
Rot makes it sound like we
better.
suck. Like, oh, that guy, that's rotten.
No. I was thinking more of like, it's like a Sunday and you just want to rot in bed and just watch PHNX Sun Devils all day.
Well, I wouldn't consider that rotting. I would consider that having a very successful day.
Okay, man.
Hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to PHNX Sports,
There
baby.
you go. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do all of the
I think
things.
like 8 people left.
Also, yeah. That's unfortunate. But to the 19 people that did say, we love you. So much.
Make sure you
Head over
subscribe.
to gophnx.com today. Click the little Die Hard tab. It's going to tell you everything that you unlock when you become a PHNX Die Hard. And luckily, not only can I pull up Go PHNX, but I can also do this. Boom. Tell me what you unlock when you become a PHNX Die Hard.
Really, dude? I was eating a chip.
Yeah, I mean, that's on you.
Are you
dude.
for real,
That's,
dude?
I mean, that's on you.
I didn't realize that you were gonna just hand your read off to me.
It was not a read, man.
That's fair.
It's
not
a lifestyle.
read. It's actually not a read. It is a lifestyle. You get access to our Die Hard Discord. You get exclusive video content, exclusive audio content. You get ad-free experience on our website, a free T-shirt or hat of your choosing every single year. You get discounts to all of our events, and yes, you can take Anthony Totri's car whenever you want. So you
My
get,
car?
Yeah, whenever you need a ride, all you have to do is go into our Discord, message in the Sun Devils chat, say, Anthony Totri, I need your car, and he has to give it to you. It is in his contract.
That's what Kyle did today, to be honest with you.
That's
Kyle
true.
literally, boom, I had to get my car.
Took advantage.
Can you give me a ride home? I don't even need one, but I want to inconvenience you.
Guys, on that note, that's going to be the end of the PHNX Sun Devil show today. We will see you, of course, on Wednesday
Welcome
for
back, dude.
more fun. It's good to be back. Good to be back.
JJ asking where the Deef is at. The Deef has been
Last I checked, he was in Canada.
he has been gallivanting around Europe.
Yeah. He came in
And-
fourth. Didn't medal, though,
Yeah.
in the 100 meter.
Yeah.
Tough for the kid.
Him and Noah Lyles were neck and neck.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I heard
you know.
they got in a fight in the
Well, I
Olympic
heard
Village.
he gave Noah Lyles COVID.
Wow.
That's what I heard happened.
Wow. That's on purpose?
Yeah, when he went.
Wow. Deef. That's crazy.
I can't believe I just did that on camera.
Yeah,
Can
no,
we end the
that's-
show, please?
That's really,
Can we end the
really
show?
tough. Well,
Please.
first,
Don't
guys,
clip
give us a
that.
follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow DJ Coop at K Coop
I like
Sports,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Boom, got it right. You can follow this guy, the Blind Mouse, also known as Chicken Little, also known as Jose Perez.
Keep it going. Come on, don't stop.
I'm going to be honest, it's been a minute. I don't
Professor
know. I'm off.
Oates.
Professor Oates. You really like that
I
one.
do actually.
The
like
zookeeper,
Professor
right?
Oates.
Or are you the
Zookeeper-
fish keeper?
No, he's
No,
the fish
Shane's
keeper.
the fish
Come
keeper,
on.
yeah.
I do have a fish hat though now.
Mm.
But I am the zookeeper. I am Professor Oates. I am Rubus. Jose Perez.
I am Rubus.
I am Jose Perez.
Marvel moving it incoming.
Yeah. I am the man who held it down for you where you were gone.
Where can everybody follow you, the man who
You can
held it down?
You can follow me at ErikRuby. That's my name.
It's also just Erik Ruby, right?
Yeah.
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 Erik
Why
with a K.
spell it? Because like literally everybody spells my name with a C. Even like
You just
my-
say Erik Ruby with a K.
there are some extended family members that don't know how to spell my name. So I want to make sure you guys know how to spell my name.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime,
this show's never gonna end.
go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.